Hi guys, I'm John Scores from AviationTutor.com, and today I'm going to show you how to read a METAR and TAF quickly using a real example so you can brief weather confidently for the private pilot check ride. The key is to read them in the same order every single time. What we're looking at here is a METAR, which is a routine aviation weather report that tells you the current observed weather conditions at a specific airport. In other words, a METAR gives you a snapshot of what the weather is doing right now, things like wind, visibility, clouds, temperature, and altimeter setting. Read METARs in this order: station, date, time, wind, visibility, sky conditions, temperature, dew point, and altimeter. First is the station identifier and observation time. KTIX in this example tells us which airport this report is for, and 041947 Zulu means it was issued on the 4th day of the month at 1947 Zulu time. So this part tells us where the report is from and when the weather was observed. Next is the wind. This means that the wind is coming from 110 degrees at 8 knots. So now we know the direction the wind is coming from and the speed we can expect on takeoff and landing. After wind comes visibility. 7 SM means 7 statute miles visibility. For VFR planning, this tells you how far you can see horizontally, and it's one of the first things I check for VFR conditions. Next are the cloud layers. BKN026 means broken clouds at 2,600 feet AGL, and BKN040 means broken clouds at 4,000 feet AGL. Here's the important check ride point. A ceiling is defined by broken, overcast, or vertical visibility. So the ceiling is the lowest broken layer, which in this METAR is broken at 2,600 feet AGL. Next is temperature and dew point. 27/19 means the temperature is 27 degrees Celsius and the dew point is 19 degrees Celsius. Quick pilot tip: the closer the temperature and dew point are, the higher the chance of fog or low clouds. Here the spread is 8 degrees, so it's not screaming fog, but it's still something I watch, especially if it's cooling later. And finally, we have the altimeter setting. Alpha 3022 means 30.22 inches of mercury. This is what you'd set in the altimeter window to get accurate altitude readings in the area. So putting it all together, KTIX is reporting winds from 110 degrees at 8 knots, 7 miles visibility, a ceiling at 2,600 feet AGL, temperature 27, dew point 19, and altimeter setting of 30.22. Now let's talk about a TAF, which is a terminal aerodrome forecast. Unlike a METAR, which tells you what the weather is doing at that moment, a TAF tells you what the weather is expected to do over a period of time. The key to reading a TAF is to treat it like a timeline, not just like one long sentence. KTIX 041740 Zulu. Just like a METAR, we start with the airport identifier and the issued time. KTIX tells us the forecast is for Space Coast Regional Airport, and 041740 Zulu means the forecast was issued on the 4th day of the month at 1740 Zulu time. That does not mean the forecast starts then, it just tells us when the forecast was issued. Next up is how long the TAF is valid for. 0418/0518 means the TAF is valid from the 4th at 18 Zulu until the 5th at 18 Zulu. So before I even look at the weather details, I already know the time window this forecast covers. Now let's read the baseline forecast, the expected starting conditions at the beginning of the valid period. 10011 KT means the wind is from 100 degrees at 11 knots. P6SM means visibility is greater than 6 statute miles, and SCT030 means scattered clouds at 3,000 feet AGL. So the TAF is starting out VFR with good visibility, moderate winds, and scattered clouds. Now we hit our first FM group, FM 050000. FM means from, and the 6 digits tell us the exact time the new forecast begins. In this case, 05 is the 5th day of the month, 00 is the hour, and 00 is the minutes. So this new forecast starts on the 5th at 0000 Zulu time. From that point forward, the forecast changes to wind from 080 at 5 knots, visibility greater than 6 statute miles, scattered clouds at 3,000 feet, and another scattered layer at 4,500 feet. So the wind becomes lighter and shifts direction, but the weather stays VFR. Then we get another FM group, FM 051600. Again, FM means from, and the 6 digits give us the exact time this forecast begins. 05 is the fifth day of the month, 16 is the hour, and 00 is the minute. So this new forecast starts on the 5th at 1600 Zulu. From that point forward, the forecast changes to wind from 130 at 12 knots, visibility greater than 6 statute miles, and scattered clouds at 3,500 feet. So again, the wind shift and increases a bit, but the forecast still remains VFR. So if a DPE handed me this TAF, this is what I would say. It's valid from the 4th at 18 Zulu to the 5th at 18 Zulu. It starts with winds at 100 degrees at 11 knots, greater than 6 statute miles visibility, and scattered clouds at 3,000 feet. Then from the 5th at 0000 Zulu, winds shift to 080 degrees at 5 knots. Visibility still stays at greater than 6 statute miles, with scattered clouds at 3,000 feet and 4,500 feet. Then from the 5th at 1600 Zulu, wind shift to 130 degrees at 12 knots. Visibility still the same, greater than 6 statute miles, with scattered clouds at 3,500 feet. Overall, the forecast stays VFR. Thanks for watching. If you want structured private pilot oral prep and help learning how to answer like a confident applicant, I work one-on-one with students preparing for the check ride. The link is below.